The rematch that took, 28, 29 years in the making, Miami, Alabama. I realize the point spread's pretty lofty, but after all, we're your home for the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
Oh, definitely the Tide.
And your tiebreaker, we move over to the Auburn Tigers, Bo Nix. Total yards for Bo Nix collectively. Remember, that's rushing, that's passing. Bo Nix, total yards.
Give me 264.
264. I don't think $2.64 is going to buy you too much over at, what has he been pimping? I'm trying to remember what it was. Was it Bojangles or?
Was it Milo's?
Milo's. It was
Yeah.
Milo's. Yep. Yeah, I know that.
Hey, who won last week, Steve?
264 is not going to get
No.
you anything at Milo's. Maybe a cup of ice. So, Cliff, I'm glad you brought that up. So, last week, our second game of Pick 2 was UAB Jacksonville State. That game did not finish till Wednesday. So the total runs, and I looked it up just to double-check you, Smokey Mike, and far be it from me to do that, because the total runs, you were right, Smokey Mike, 15. So, Cliff, you went 14.
I went
and
14,
then
yep.
you went 14, and so you actually are our winner from last week, Cliff. So all those picks you just gave me are ineligible for this week. After this is what happens when I get sun in my eyes trying to read a laptop screen in front of me, Cliff. And
Hey,
on top of that, you're
winner.
out of the gate, and you're also a winner with a Bad Daddy's $25 gift certificate. So,
Sounds
Hey,
greedy.
double whammy.
yeah. So, congratulations to you, Cliff.
All right, man.
If you need to, call back in and give Smokey Mike your info, but you'll pick up the gift certificates at the radio station.
Okay, cool, man. That sounds good. Am I good to play next week?
You're ineligible this week and next week, the following week. So when is
Okay.
that? That is...
It'd be week 3 for Bama then, won't it?
It will.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Thank you, Cliff.
Man, y'all enjoy. Yes, sir. Enjoy tonight's game.
Should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. 3 weeks from now is the 17th, September 17th. And I do wonder 3 weeks from now what is going to pan out in terms of storylines in the college football world. Shane Sean is next. How are you, Shane Sean?
I'm good. How are y'all?
It's a beautiful evening here in Grant. If I just had a little bit of cloud cover over the sun, it'd be perfect.
Yeah, I wish I was going to a football game tonight, but yesterday was mine and my wife's 15-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
She bought us tickets to go to a concert in Albertville, so that's where we're going.
Okay.
You're a good man. This way, stay married.
Yep. Yeah.
What concert is it, if I can be nosy?
Oh, man, it's something I'm not even interested in. But
I hope I didn't get you in more trouble right there, Shane Sean.
no.
She's
just
not
going
listening?
I'm just going to. My wife knows I'm not interested in it, but I'm going to please her, so.
There you go.
That's love.
There you go. Yep, 15 years.
It is TLC and Bone Thugs and Harmony with a special guest of some sort, so I don't know.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that, but I'll just say okay to that.
Well, now, I'll tell you this, Bone has a lot, they have a lot of good songs from back in my early years, but it's just not my cup of tea.
Fair enough. You want to hop on pick 2?
Yes, sir. This is Christmas Eve for me.
Georgia, Clemson. Who you got?
I'm sorry, Steve, but I got to go with Clemson, and only because of their quarterback.
Well, I think their defense is going to be better as well. I mean, just being fully transparent.
Georgia's pretty loaded on defense now. That's the one place that I'm giving Georgia. I'm a toss-up on it. I don't know.
D-line for D-line, I mean, they're competitive. But as for secondary and linebacker core, There's no
That's
question
right.
that
Georgia's got a lot
Clemson's
of
better. Clemson's
Georgia's
better.
got a lot of starters out, don't they?
They do.
And their secondary.
Yep.
Man, I forgot about that.
Miami,
Yeah, Clemson.
Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Total yards for Bo Nix.
Let's go 287.
It is yours, Shane Sean.
Thank y'all, guys. Have a good weekend.
Enjoy the
too.
concert. Nothing. Big C. What do you say, Big C?
All right, is that Wes or who's that in the background?
That's me. That's Steve.
Hey, Steve, what's going on? We're hanging in there, big man.
Well, good, good. Wes
I'm
is
sorry
on
you got
vacation.
Wes is on vacation.
Yeah, yeah.
I see. Now, I couldn't get a hold of you. I had to do something else on Wednesday. I tried to get back on Wednesday, but I thought, well, heck, why not? I saw something on Facebook that you were on right now, so I said, well, let's go ahead and give them a call.
There you go. Appreciate that,
Yeah.
Big C.
You're
Tell
welcome.
me- Tell me
Go ahead.
about your memories of the '92 championship game, Alabama-Miami.
I went down there. It was a lot of fun. The play that Teague made was unbelievable. I was sort of like in
Amen.
shock. Couldn't believe it happened when it happened. But that was that game. He became a millionaire. He went from the third round to the first round on that one play there. I remember I didn't get to see it, but there was an ex-player that Wes knows. I'm not gonna mention his name. I almost did. He was fired up enough. He wanted to play. He'd been gone from Alabama for over about 8 years or 7 years. But he was the way how man he was talking to the fans and everything for the game. He was fired up to want to. He was ready to. He wanted to go out there and play right then and there. And he would have done good for about 4 or 5 plays. So I think that'd been it. But because of, of his conditioning, but they would have been paid. They would have paid for it if he'd been out there. And I don't remember. I remember reading about it, but I didn't hear. Hearing about they almost had a brawl on Bourbon Street. And, what was his name? Bob Marley's son, Rayhan Marley. What was his name?
I
was
don't
running his
remember.
mouth. He was running his mouth, but I saw him get pancaked by Martin Houston that night in the game. He flattened him on his back.
Martin's
They were
doing
just-
a lot of talk radio in Tuscaloosa, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I understand. Might need to give him a holler on his
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
But anyway, no, it was a they got and then the wide receiver named Thomas. Needless to say, he humbled him after that play.
That's
Yeah.
true.
It was funny how that happened.
We did have Gene Stallings on Monday, and I mentioned that play in particular because it's so iconic, and Coach Stallings immediately said, well, he was out of position at the beginning of that play. That play doesn't happen if he's out of position.
Oh gosh, that's amazing. But
Coach Stallings is still as smart as a tack. It's he's 86 years young and still remembers every detail of that '92 championship game.
I bet he does. That was amazing. That was great. That was a great game, and it was something that needed to be done because the last time was in '79, so the 13-year drought was ended because of that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was happy that it was ended. But anyway, it was a great game, and it was just a old country whooping, bad whooping, domination.
Yeah.
And another thing I remember was that game, Alabama lined up in almost like 11 men on the line, and they just floored the freako Coretta out. He didn't know what to do.
Oh, man. That's true.
Well, that reminds me, we also had Eli Gold earlier in the week, and he said when he was handed some NFL assignments, his first analyst that he worked with was Gino Torretta. And he said when he sat down to have dinner with Gino the night before, Gino noticed the '92 national championship ring on Eli's finger and said, "Just go ahead, let's get it over with now. Let's just get it out on the table." That had to be a cool moment for Eli.
I bet it was. That's fun.
Well, he did
Yeah,
mention seeing more of the ceiling tiles there at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium more than the actual playing surface.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, the bookends made it dominated. And that was a real smart move on Oliver to put both of them on the same side to rush. That was pretty.
Yeah.
That was a great game. Defensive game
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah. Well, we normally do pick 2, Big C. Would you like to participate in Big 2?
All right, what is pick 2? I'll try it. What is it?
It's just straight up winners. We don't do point spreads. All I want is a winner, and then you could be eligible for a gift certificate to Nick's Ristorante down along South Memorial. Actually, it's not South Memorial Parkway. What is that? It's Bailey Cove. Thank you, Bailey Cove Road.
Okay, all right. I'd like to try that. What's the game to pick?
2 games for pick 2. Weisenheimer's out there need not apply. Georgia, Clemson.
I'll go with the Bulldogs.
Go Dogs. Miami, Alabama.
The Tide.
And then your tiebreaker, in case I need it, that's why I said Weisenheimer's. Some people call us pick 3, is total yards accumulated by Bo Nix, the Auburn quarterback.
Let's say 300.
It is yours, Big C.
Thank you. Maybe I get lucky.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
All right. Well, good. Thank you. Enjoy talking. I'll see you.
Thank you, Big C. Mike, let's take our first time out. Let's talk to Wes Neighbors on the other side if we can corral him away from whatever he's doing.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, everybody. Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Do you value professionalism and punctuality? Want to learn from and work with the best pros in the electrical industry? Then you're just who we're looking for. Mr. Sparky is seeking hard-working, committed, and trustworthy individuals. With industry-leading salaries, benefits, and growth potential, we also provide ongoing training. So come join our team at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8
An equal opportunity employer.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life, more important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Ann Adams. And I understand you have some exciting news.
Yes, Wes, I do. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services was just recognized in the 30th Annual Harris Poll Equitrin as the Real Estate Agency Brand of the Year and the most trusted real estate brand.
That is awesome news, Ann. Great companies in Huntsville, Alabama, winning awards is what we want. Is it a great time to list your home?
Yes, it is. The inventory is low and the market is heating up.
And I understand you're also looking for agents.
I am. We are so busy, Wes, we need agents to keep up with the demand.
Ann Adams and Rise Real Estate has been doing business in North Alabama for the last 35 years. If you want to do business with someone you can trust, she has been writing contracts since she was 9 years old. Call Ann today at 256-337-2625.
Maybe the air doesn't blow like it should, or it's needing new tires, or you're just ready for something newer. It's time to move up, time to trade up. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and it's the perfect time to trade in and trade up because your current car or truck is worth more than you know. In fact, we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't trade. We have nearly 100 Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned models to choose from. Our Ford Gold certified or low mileage, gently used vehicles with great warranties. They've passed a 172-point inspection by certified technicians, come with a 24-hour roadside assistance, plus a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. It's the perfect time to trade in and trade up because your vehicle is worth more right now at Woody Anderson Ford. Corner of Jordan Lane and Sparkman Drive. Hope to see you soon.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
Is Pick 2 Friday. If you'd like to participate, you can do so on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline at 256-576-4977. The number to be a part of the program, 256-576-4977. And we had SEC football kickoff last night. And after the first 2 drives, the Tennessee Vol fans were exploding on social media of we're back, baby, we're back. Then the adjustments happened, a stall out in the first half, if you will, but still a nice win for the Tennessee Vols. But things are going to ramp up pretty quickly as Pittsburgh comes calling coming up next week for Tennessee Vol Nation. So we'll see what happens for Joe Moulton for his second start there for the Tennessee Volunteers. It is also a lot of question marks entering into the weekend for a lot of programs. Among them include the Florida Gators as they play host to FAU. Had an opportunity to talk to Dan Mullen. With the type of offense you had last year and what you're replacing, I mean, you had video game type numbers last year on offense. What's maybe the biggest question you have on your offense entering into game number 1, Coach?
I think the guys just putting it all together. I think we have a good plan. I think the guys understand our plan and the direction that we're headed. There are some new faces and new guys, and the biggest one to me is seeing how those guys react to when the lights come on in the swamp. I have a lot of confidence in guys. We've tried to put them in different situations, but you can't. Whatever you do, you can't simulate a Saturday night in the swamp. You just can't. And so to see how those guys, and I'm hoping guys step up and take a jump forward even when the lights come on. For us, as we continue to kind of develop who our playmakers are and how we want to utilize them all, we have a good idea how we want to do it, but I want to see how they react to that on game time.
And after talking to Steve Shaw earlier in the summer, he talked about how coaches on the field is an automatic, unsportsmanlike. Is there maybe more than one get-back coach this fall on your team, Coach?
Well, it's keeping everybody back. That's more designed for me, you know what I mean? And, back in my younger years, I'm sure I would have gotten flagged plenty, but they didn't have that rule. So now, I think the coaches, you do a good job with that stuff, and I think we understand. I understand what it's about. I understand what it's about and what it's for. And I think in the SEC, to be honest with you, they kind of made an emphasis on that about, I want to say about 3 years ago it was now, maybe 4. It's been a while. And, I think everybody reacted really well to it, to be perfectly honest with you, that way. So, I don't think that's going to be a big change for us.
That is my conversation that I had with Gator head football coach Dan Mullen as the Gators prep for the Owls of FAU. Jeff is next up on a Pick 2 Friday, brought to you by Nick's Ristorante. What do you say, Jeff?
How are you, Steve?
Doing well. Just jamming up here on top of the press box.
Where's your partner, Wes?
They're playing a little Freebird here in Grant.
Where's your partner, Wes?
Parts unknown. He is out for the day.
I got you. Well, let me jump on Pick 2, if you don't mind.
Georgia Clemson.
Give me...
You broke up on me right there.
Clemson.
All right. Alabama, Miami.
Alabama.
Total yards for Auburn's quarterback, Bo Nix.
Let's go 327.
It is yours, Jeff. Good luck to you.
All right. Have a good weekend, Steve.
Appreciate it. Smokey Mike has given me an update. Virginia Tech with an early touchdown over North Carolina. 7-0. That is in the first quarter of action there. So, if you'd like to participate, you can do so on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Number to call in is 256-576-4977. Spoke with a number of coaches during the SEC teleconference, and maybe the most intriguing matchup, at least that I saw, was what has taken place with LSU as they travel to UCLA, and this is kind of familiar territory for Ed Ogeron in his tenure there with USC, and certainly does know quite a bit about playing in Pasadena. Hey, Coach.
What's up, Steve?
Hey, how are you today, sir?
Doing great, man.
I did want to get a thought or two about playing in the Rose Bowl and maybe what you've conveyed to your team about what kind of venue you guys are going to be playing in.
Yeah, hey, first of all, it's an honor to play there. I'm so excited to bring our team there. I think our team is – I usually don't take them to the stadium the day before, but I will. Just like 2 years ago when we played Miami and we went to the new Dallas Cowboys Stadium. I think it's something that they go want to see. Let them take pictures. Let them be part of it. Let them get that out the way. We have a little practice on the field. Let them feel the turf. But then, the next day, man, it's the same football field. And we're going to focus in on playing well, focus in on the LSU Tigers, and not let any surroundings be intimidating or affect or distract us to what we want to get done.
And in terms of Max, where do you think he's grown the most from last year to this year, Coach?
Yeah, I think the understanding of our offense, Jake has done a great job. Learning how to stay in the pocket, learning his reads. And I just hope he finds Keyshawn Booth there. I think he'll be fine if he does that, Steve.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, man.
That is my conversation with LSU head football coach Ed Ogeron. We are on top of the press box here in beautiful Grant, Alabama. If you'd like to participate in a Pick 2 Friday, just like Hammerhead has done, he is next up. How are you, Hammerhead?
Man, if I was any better, it'd have to be Twins.
That's good news.
Give me your Bulldogs.
All right, go Dogs.
Roll down Tide.
All right.
And who was Auburn playing?
Auburn is playing the Zips of Akron.
Man. Give me 380.
380 is yours, Hammerhead.
Alrighty.
At this rate, I may just plug into the sound machine and just sit back and just... Oh, this is going to be an intriguing night, isn't it? Shutdown Man is next up. How are you, Shutdown Man?
Hey, Steve. Sounds like Freebird in the background.
That's 100% spot on.
Going into this big week of games, one thing that concerns me about Georgia, I mean, I came on the air and predicted Georgia to beat Clemson and then go ahead and win the SEC and then win the national championship. But one thing that's a concern to me, of course, these injuries we know about, but one key injury I think is Tyke Jackson, the West Virginia transfer defensive back already.
100%. Yep.
Georgia was kind of seeing, I think they're really going to attack that secondary, but I'm not going to back off my prediction. I think Georgia still finds a way to pull it out. So in my pick, too, I'm still going to go with Georgia. Alabama hasn't lost in Atlanta since 2008. Including 3 in a row at Mercedes-Benz. So, got to go with Alabama. I mean, they've probably already got their routine down. Miami might not know their way around on the bus. Really got to like Alabama there. What do you think on the over-under there? I'm thinking it's going to be under at 61.5.
It is so hard to know.
Struggled.
I think that is so hard to know out of the first game. I would lean under but there are so many unknowns, Shutdown Man. I would honestly steer clear of anything surrounding point spreads or over-unders around this Bama football game. That's just me.
To me, it's the best week of the year to really make big money like I've done in the past because a lot of people, even bookies, don't really know. And from the information that I got, Alabama first-string offense struggled mightily against Alabama's first-string defense. That says one of two things, or both things, that Alabama's offense is not as powerful as or not as quick strike as they were last year. Or it says that Alabama's defense is so good that they're going to hold Miami to fewer points. And it may take Alabama, a while to drive down the field instead of scoring quickly. So I'm taking that 61.5 under and with a 31-13 type score. Now talking about Auburn and Bo Nix, what I think there, I'm going to go with 280, thinking he's going to have a big day, but they got T.J. Finley they want to keep breaking in. They've been kind of a quarterback competition. Got to think that they're going to let him play quite a bit. So that's my thinking there. I'm going to go with 280.
It is yours, Shutdown Man.
All right, have a good one.
Appreciate the phone call. Keith is up next. How are you, Keith? Are you there, Keith? If you'd like to be part of the program, you can do so on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. I thought I heard a little something right there. Keith, is that you? Maybe not. Maybe the voices in my head are starting to play around. 256-576-4977, the number to be a part of the program. If you missed a couple of interviews that we had from earlier in the week, we're going to re-rack that in hour number 2, including my conversations with Coach Nick Saban and Coach Brian Harsin to get you ready for both Auburn and Alabama this weekend. Incidentally, the Crimson Tide Sports Network will take over our airwaves tomorrow morning at 11:30. And then after the game is done from Atlanta tomorrow, join myself and Drew DeArmond for the Game Day Tailgate program as soon as that is done. That should be around 9 o'clock, maybe a little before 9, hopefully, from Atlanta. James is next up. We're jamming here in Grant. How are you, James?
Hey, doing great, Steve. You?
Doing well.
Well, I'm like everybody else. I'm excited that we're on the eve of seeing our team play. I'm expecting us to have a good day tomorrow. Of course, I'm going to go with Alabama to win. And
I'm sorry, James. I was distracted. Tell me, Georgia Clemson, what was that pick?
Let's go with Georgia.
All right. I did hear you mention Bama.
And I'm looking for Bo to have a big day. Let's go 323.
It is yours, James.
Have a good evening, Steve.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Keith is back.
Hey, Steve, you got me now?
Loud and clear, Keith.
How you been doing, Steve?
I'm good. I got a little John Denver action up here on top of the press box.
Yeah, I hear that. Hey, what time is the Auburn game on TV? And what time
it is not on television. The Auburn game is stream only on ESPN+. I want to say the Auburn game kicks at 6, but that is on ESPN Plus only.
Okay, well, I'll just hop on 6:30.
All right. Georgia Clemson. I believe that one is on ABC following Alabama Miami.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go with Georgia.
And Bama Miami?
Alabama.
Total for Bo Nix?
I'm going to go 311.
It is yours, Keith.
Have a good night, Steve.
Thank you, Keith. You as well. So, no shocker, nobody has gone with Miami. Let's talk with Wes. How are you, Wes?
I'm doing good, Steve. How are you?
Just jamming up here on top of the press box, partner.
Oh, I like it. Where's Madison Academy on the road then?
We are in Grant, Alabama. DAR and Madison Academy.
Well, then you're way up in there.
So, well, what did you think of Tennessee last night?
Well, I mean, if you listen, of course, I listen on the radio. I was traveling, I have some business meetings, have to be in, and you know, your first quarter, if you listen to it on the radio, it sounded like they were going to go undefeated. The second quarter sounded kind of like it has the last 9 years. I think it's somewhere in the middle. Listen, if I'm a Tennessee fan, I got to be happy with the hire. I mean, because, you know, you look at all the people that transferred.
Yeah.
Of course, Bowling Green's on an 8-game losing streak. But still, they scored a lot of points. They look good at times. They were going fast. They're just going to get better. I mean, but they'll have they're 6-16. But it's better than they've been. I mean, you know, under Jeremy Pruitt, for whatever reason, you look out there and there'd be 8 defensive people instead of 11. in the first game. They're well organized. They played well at times, and using a lot of new people. So I think it looks up for them.
I watched quite a bit of the Ohio State-Minnesota game. I was really surprised how well Minnesota ran on Ohio State, Wes.
You know, they had the player of the year last year, I think, the running back was for Minnesota. The Ohio State hadn't played him 2 years, and really the key in the game was when he went down. I mean, he was. I think Minnesota had a good plan, but listen, Ohio State got better during the game. You could see them get better. They got pushed, and they'll be better for it.
Is there a game on the schedule that maybe now that we're less than 24 hours away from kick that looks a little more intriguing than...
I think they all look intriguing.
Yeah.
Because there's, Texas' first game going against a team that has 21 starters back. We'll see. But, they should have the most talent. We'll see how that goes. You look at Alabama, a bunch of new starters playing against Miami, with a bunch of people returning, quote unquote. There's a bunch of intriguing games. The game of the first quarter is Georgia versus Clemson. I mean, just so many different things going on with both teams. They lost a bunch of key people, but they look to have two good quarterbacks. And they're going to have talented freshmen we've never heard of. So it's just the whole week. I'm so excited for tomorrow, and then Monday, Ole Miss. What's Ole Miss got? That's my biggest question. Is there are a lot of people high on Ole Miss, but the defense has supposedly been giving it to the offense, and is that a good thing? Well, we're going to find out Monday.
We certainly will.
Normally, it's a good thing, Steve.
Yeah, usually. Yeah,
in their undefeated season, he talks about the couple of years they were almost undefeated. But they had a hard time getting the first down against the defense. So maybe that's a good sign. We'll see.
We definitely will. That's I think might be a game of the weekend there, and that's Monday night back in Atlanta with Ole Miss and Louisville.
Well, I think that's an intriguing game because and I love what our guest said earlier in the week, where he thinks that Matt Corral has a great game. It's the only game that day. It's going to be everybody's going to be watching. He'll be the Heisman, leading for the Heisman at the beginning of the year. We'll just see. I mean, if the guy from Clemson does really well,
DJ Uiagalelei.
Yeah, whoever does really well this week, quarterback-wise, is going to be the leader for the first 5 weeks. But you know how they always fall in love with somebody and fall out of love with them before the end of the year. So,
you still believing Clemson's going to win like I am?
I think that I think who has the best defensive line? I think it's close. Who has the best offensive line? I think it's close. Who has the best quarterback?
Do you really think that's close between Georgia and Clemson?
Well, Clemson don't know who their center is going to be. That's a huge deal. I mean, listen, the center it leads the team. The center has to put everybody, unless you have a really good guard. Like when I was a freshman, Mike Adcock from Johnson High School made every call, took all the pressure off of me. The rest of the time I called it and get you in the right play. And if you got unexperienced guys, it makes a big difference. Inexperienced people, not unexperienced.
Wes, we've only got a few minutes left here in this segment. Let's close out. I talked quite a bit about Coach Fuller yesterday. I cannot help but want to get a thought or two about Coach Fuller's passing.
Well, Matt, Coach Fuller played on the 64-65 national championship team. He was undefeated in 66 in senior year. They did not get it. He coached at Alabama forever. He was my coach. He was my mentor. He wasn't an X and O expert. He was a guy that motivated you. And he became one of my good friends after life. And of course, you experienced becoming friends with him because of the show. And and you know what kind of person he is. He was just a different individual. He was a state championship wrestler in Alabama. He was a hell of a player and a hell of a man, and we're all going to miss him.
There's no doubt about that. Well said. Look forward to reconvening on Tuesday, partner. Have a good weekend.
You know, the good thing is Coach Dye, Coach Fuller back up there talking again.
Yeah. I did rerun that show last night and put it up on SoundCloud, and there's quite a few. I got a lot of reaction from it. That was spring of 2015 when we did that, partner.
That's unbelievable.
Isn't it?
6 years ago. What
Crazy.
a day, though. We all had goosebumps while it was going on. So, and Coach Dye got emotional, and Coach Fuller got emotional, and it was very special, and I'll never forget the rest of my life.
Neither will I. Have a good weekend, partner. See you Tuesday.
All right.
Let's take our final time out. Final call for phone calls. The Alabama National Anthem currently playing here in Crane, Alabama.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
We know it's lonely at the top, but we don't mind.
National championship number 18. 13 in all. Absolute perfection.
Roll Tide. Join us on Saturday, September 4th as the Crimson Tide brave the storm against the Miami Hurricanes in the season opener on your home for Bama football.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
And now a small business setback. Set to smooth jazz.
It's late. You're driving in the rain with only one thing on your mind. The deer about to total your HVAC van. But with Progressive's 30-plus customizable coverage options, you're covered. The rest is just saxophone.
When running your small business gets rough, Progressive Commercial is there to smooth it out. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Twinkly sound.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
AVIQ. Who is AVIQ? AVIQ is Audiovisual the Intelligent Way, where we put our IQ to work for your AV needs. With more than 100 years combined experience in audio, video, and automation, our team of experts is dedicated to one thing, helping you discover technological solutions that make your home special. Once you experience a game or a movie on one of our state-of-the-art home theater systems, you may never leave the house again. AVIQ can build the entire system for you or provide the quality components if you're a do-it-yourselfer. But AVIQ is more than just home theater and state-of-the-art sound systems. We offer a variety of control options for home technology. Energy efficiency, heightened security, and improved quality of life are all attainable through the automation of home systems. Intuitive and user-friendly control is our main priority in designing a system that meets your needs. Don't just take our word for it. You need to see it to believe it. Come visit us at our state-of-the-art showroom on University, just east of Jim and Nick's, across from AT&T, or visit aviqhsv.com.
Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
Chad, cue the cheesy Italian music. So you're in charge of the dinner spot, and the family is a hard group to please. Dad wants award-winning 21-day-age certified Angus beef. Mom craves authentic Italian food like great-grandma. Sissy pretty much won't eat anything but fresh seafood. And old life of the party, Uncle Walter, likes to enjoy a cigar after dinner with some live local entertainment and some killer cocktails. So you think you're in a pickle? Well, you're not. Relax. I'm Tom Chapman, chef at Nick's Ristorante at 10300 Bailey Cove Road, just south of Weatherly. We have all that and more. Our friendly and helpful staff is eager to help you Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 5. So, corral that crazy crew of yours and give us a call at 256-489-8280 or tell them to check us out at nicksristorante.com. I promise you, the gang will all think you're a culinary cruise director of awesomeness if you take them all to Nick's. See you soon. Ciao. Okay, Chad, kill that music.
Nick's is for patrons 19 or older.
From the WZDX Pinpoint Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For your Friday, expect a mostly sunny sky. High temperatures topping out in the mid to upper 80s for the afternoon. It will be another dry day as well. For your Friday night, expect partly cloudy skies. Low temperatures will fall into the mid to upper 60s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
And now, a man who knows what you ate for breakfast.
Time now for the biggest thinker of them all.
He knows it all. He is Drew DeArmond. Listen to Drew and Scott Tyson weekday mornings. It's Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Well, if I ever wanted to know what two songs playing at the same time sounded like, I'm getting that experience right now. Back here at DAR, getting ready for a little region action coming up here tonight as region play kicks off around the state of Alabama. Again, coming up next hour, we will re-rack some interviews we did from earlier in the week, including my conversations with Nick Saban and Brian Harsin. We'll also hear from Bo Nix and Bryce Young as well. And we'll have full coverage this weekend of all the college football. We are not on Monday being a holiday, but Paul Feinbaum is going to be live. I know Chuck Oliver is going to be live. There is going to be plenty of coverage of week one, which will officially be done after the game Monday night, which I'm also heading to two games this weekend with Alabama, Miami, followed by Ole Miss, Louisville. So both games over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and certainly appreciate the fine folks at the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl who are running the events to allow radio to come in. Pizza Larry is next up. What do you say, Pizza Larry?
How you doing, Steve?
I'm good. It's a beautiful night. Low humidity up here on Grant. I mean, hard to get much better. Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I had an encounter with one of your sponsors. And that was Jacob's Title.
Yeah.
And I tell you, the good thing about a title company is you don't see them until closing day, and then it's only 12 minutes.
Well, that's good. That was very efficient, right?
Yeah. The only bad thing about it is I got carpal tunnel from signing all them documents.
Nice.
Let me get on pick two real quick. It's a busy night.
I bet it is for you, Pizza Larry. Georgia, Clemson, who you got?
God, 6 days ago I'd have said Georgia, but give me Clemson.
Bama, Miami.
Bama.
And then total yards for Bo Nix is your tiebreaker.
285.
285 is yours.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Stay safe out there, brother.
Yes, sir.
256-576-4977. Final call for phone calls. We've only got about 2 minutes left or so, 2 and some change. Pizza Larry, a longtime listener, and always enjoy hearing from Pizza Larry. Smokey Mike, as a long-suffering Vol fan, what was your takeaway from last night?
First quarter was fantastic.
Yeah.
Second quarter sucked. Third quarter was all right. Fourth quarter was not too good. But, whenever it seemed like it was off the script, that was when the issues happened with the Volunteer offense especially. But Bowling Green's defense being able to hold them for that long in the second quarter and them only getting 8 plays, the Vols, it's 8 total yards and 7 plays, I believe.
That's right.
It's just absolutely, this is going to be some growing pains, but right now with the script, it looks good, but when it's off the script, it looks bad.
And at least arm strength-wise, there's no question about what kind of gun Milton's got. And just if he's more on target, then the offense could be something moving forward. But we shall see. If I can, let me bring up the full rundown of games if I have time. In the Southeastern Conference, of course, the Vols winners last night, 38-6. Tomorrow morning, it'll be Kentucky and Louisiana Monroe at 11 a.m. on the SEC Network. At 1 o'clock Central Time, it's Arkansas and Rice. That'll be followed by...
Sorry, guys, we lost Steve there for a minute, but if you guys just hold on, we got Madison Academy football coming up at about 7 o'clock this evening. We got a few interviews coming up here in the next hour, just a little bit of a best of, but we'll try and get Steve back on here. But anyway, you guys have a get ready to listen back into our best of coming up, and then Madison Academy football, as well as don't forget the app. Zone 2, you got Huntsville and Bristol going on tonight, so that'll be all coming up here in the next few minutes.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
On ESPN Plus. This is SportsCenter.
College football matchup in the ACC tonight on ESPN television. Right now, second quarter in Blacksburg. Virginia Tech, the Hokies up 7-0 on number 10, North Carolina. Following that matchup, a big matchup from the Big Ten. Michigan State and Northwestern will follow on ESPN TV. BYU, Houston, UCF, Cincinnati are all planning to submit applications next week to join the Big 12. The four schools could be approved for admission as early as a September 10th meeting of Big 12 presidents. That, according to Sports Illustrated. Pro Football Hall of Famer Warren Moon appearing with KJ&Z today on the Patriots, parting ways with Cam Newton.
Yeah, I wasn't shocked, but I was a little surprised. I just thought maybe they would keep Cam around as insurance just in case, Mac didn't get off to a good start. But then I started thinking about it, and you think about Cam's personality and where he is in his career. He's 32 years old, even though his body's taking a lot more punishment than that because of the way he plays. But I just don't think mentally and psychologically Cam is at a place where he wants to be a backup right now. And
Warren Moon today with Keyshawn J. Will and Zubin. NBA News. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting today. Nets are trading DeAndre Jordan, 4 second-round picks, and almost $6 million to the Detroit Pistons. Pistons also plan to buy out Jordan, who has 2 years remaining on his 4-year contract. Also from Adrian Wojnarowski today, Nets and LaMarcus Aldridge agreeing to a 1-year deal worth over $2.5 million. Aldridge retired due to a heart concern back in May. He has been cleared medically.
Yo, it's Jay Williams. Hope you're enjoying your Labor Day weekend. When it's all over, catch our new show, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max as we talk NFL and set up the baseball pennant races starting at 6 a.m. Eastern right here on ESPN Radio.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Two Maids and a Mop. That's all you need to know to clean house. Two Maids and a Mop is an award-winning company, bonded and insured. Hire them for yourself, or they have gift cards if you want to make someone else's day. Find out more online at twomaidshuntsville.com. A maid service worth talking about. Two Maids and a Mop take care of everything. They supply all the cleaning equipment needed. Call 256-883-6243. The only finger you'll need to lift is the one to call them.
We love our pets, and when we need boarding or vet services, we want the best. That's why we chose Paradise Pet Resort and Spa. Everything our pets needed, all in one place. Boarding for both dogs and cats. Doggy daycare, grooming and spa services, web cameras, and top-notch vet care, too. It's a true Paradise Pet Resort for your furry friends, serving all of North Alabama. Find out everything you need to know and book services online at ParadisePetResortAndSpa.com. Located in Madison, just off 565 at Walt Triana, behind Cracker Barrel.
Tom Luganbill here for Woody Anderson Ford. When I was in the Tennessee Valley, one of the things that impressed me the most was the quality of the people. People like Bobby White and his team at Woody Anderson Ford. And now you can experience the tremendous new service lanes and showroom at Woody Anderson Ford at Jordan and Sparkman, or just stop by for breakfast or lunch at Henry's Mustang Cafe. And in Madison, visit Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, just south of 72. Like a great college football tradition, always there, Woody Anderson Ford.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. I hope all of you are well. These are trying times we're experiencing right now, and I want you to know that we at Baumhauer's are committed more than ever to providing a legendary dining experience to everyone. Everyone is important to us, and everyone is welcome. Please allow us to serve you in a way that makes you feel safe, appreciated, welcome, and special. Because we're all special in the eyes of the ones and the one that counts. God bless.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Back here with you on the drive as we're getting ready for a little Madison Academy football here. I thought we'd re-rack some conversations that we had earlier in the week. Let's start things out with the Alabama-Miami matchup that you'll be able to listen to right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. In fact, the Game Day Tailgate Show will follow tomorrow's Alabama-Miami game, which the Crimson Tide Sports Network take over our airwaves at 11:30 tomorrow morning. Alabama leads the series overall 14-3. This is the first meeting since January 1st of 1993, the national championship game down in New Orleans. So to help preview this matchup, first up, my question that I had earlier in the week to Alabama quarterback Bryce Young. You're also going to hear my Q&A with head coach Nick Saban on the SEC teleconference from earlier in the week, and then a conversation that Wes and I had with former Crimson Tide head football coach Gene Stallings. Enjoy. Bryce, I was wondering how much communication you do have with Mac, and in terms of advice, maybe now that you're taking over the starting job, any advice that he's given you?
Yeah, I've been sworn into secrecy with the advice he's talked to me about. But you know, I've talked to him a few times, and really seeing him do well at the next level is, you know, it's really inspiring for me. And really being able to, you know, with just being so close to him last year and seeing all that he did on the field, off the field. Obviously in games, but the Sunday through Friday that no one sees, seeing how he approached it, that was really a big learning experience for me. So, we've talked a few times. Again, I can't, that stuff that's a little personal, so I can't put it out there. But we've talked a few times, and it's really been great to have him in my corner.
Right. Well, I think our players are really looking forward to the first game. Long time, coming. You work in the off season all summer long, spring ball. And this is a very challenging game. I think it's important that players can stay focused, one play at a time. Usually in openers, there's some things that happen that maybe you're not prepared for. So it's an opportunity to create an identity as a team. And, our preparation has been good to this point. So we're excited about having the opportunity to play in Atlanta. And, we're playing against a really good team who's got a lot of veteran players coming back, 19 out of 22 starters, a couple other transfer guys that probably can contribute, really good quarterback, really good skill guys on offense, good special teams, play hard, tough, physical, aggressive on defense. So be a real challenge for us.
I was hoping I could get a thought or two about a couple of local kids that are from our area here in North Alabama, LeBrian Ray along the defensive front and Kendall Randolph along the offensive line. How have they looked this fall, Coach?
Yeah. Well, both guys have been battling some injuries. I think both will be ready to play in the game. We're very encouraged by, how they were doing, how they've been doing, the progress that they're making. Kendall's been out with a little twisted ankle, and LeBrian's coming off of a muscle pull. But both guys will be available at the game, and both guys are doing very well.
And growth-wise, out of Jalil Billingsley, what can you tell me? How's he impressed you the last couple of weeks, Coach?
We're just trying to get, Jalil to be a very responsible, disciplined person as well as a responsible, disciplined player. And he's certainly a very talented guy, and we have high hopes for how he can contribute to the team. But, how that happens is, sort of up to him and, his choice.
Hey, Coach, it's always great to talk with you. How are you today, sir?
I can't complain one bit. How you doing, Steve?
Doing very well. It's always a pleasure to talk with you, and it is Alabama-Miami week, and could not help but want to get you on because I know that was an awfully big game in your career and your tenure down in Tuscaloosa, Coach.
But no question about it. The only difference in that game and this game, we were the underdogs, and this year Alabama's a favorite. So that's a big difference.
Coach, that was quite many moons ago. I guess 29 years ago. What a game!
The only similarity, both games were played in Atlanta. Other than that, there's not a lot of similarity.
Well, Coach, talk about your first game and getting your team ready. Coach Saban at the end of today's press conference kind of just said, "Hey guys, you're asking me questions I wish I knew, but I really don't know." You really don't know until you play a game what these guys are going to do.
Well, you know about your team. You don't know all about the opposing team. A lot of times we don't say anything about it one way or the other. We think it's going to be good, think it's going to be bad. We're not going to say that. So a lot of times we say until they play, we really don't know. But I guarantee you Coach Saban has a good idea how his team is going to perform. Now, doesn't know exactly, but he's got a good idea. He wouldn't have won as many games as he has if he didn't one on top of it.
Well, there's a lot of competition, Coach, at offensive linemen. Did you ever have, they haven't named their offensive line yet. They've kind of got 8 or 9 players that I'm sure in their mind they know who they're going to play. But, when I was at Alabama, we didn't have 8 or 9 that could play.
No, you do. We were lucky to have 5 offensive linemen and one backup play all positions.
But that's a luxury. But it does take a while for an offensive line to gel.
No question about that. The hardest position, and they got to understand each other's terminology. You know, now the center calls. I don't know what all they say, but they communicate to the guards and tackles about what the defensive alignment is and how they're going to block it and so forth. I can remember when I was coaching, we just called play and block basically 1, 2, 3, 4, and tried to get them.
Well, I think they're calling the strong side to make everybody know who 1, 2, and 3, 4 are. But you know, we did something similar, but not as. And they're always looking for the strong safety, and they name the Mike linebacker and the safety for whatever reason. And if they're on both sides of on the right side, then I think they go left, and all that. You know, just depend on the play. It's interesting though.
Run away from the shrink. Now, we pay these guys lots of money, don't we? Making it too simple now.
So, Coach, you mentioned about knowing your football team heading into a season. How confident were you back in '92 about what kind of football team you had in Tuscaloosa, Coach?
I thought we were going to have a good football team. We had a good spring practice, had good players coming back, and I didn't really think in terms of being good enough to win the national championship until we were 7-0. And then when we were 7-0, it was a Monday afternoon practice, and I got thinking. I called old Gerald Jack over, and I said, Gerald, you know, we got a chance to win it all, and didn't even give it any thought until we were 7-0.
You know, Coach, so you know they say climbing the mountaintop. Every time the pressure gets worse and worse and worse. As the higher you get, the bigger the pressure.
And it's harder to stay on top than it is to get on top. Lots of teams can get on top, but they just stay there a year or two. You look at the success that Alabama's had over the years, it's just a remarkable job of coaching and recruiting. They've got good players. I understand that. But they're superbly well coached, no question about that.
Well, I can't help but wonder, how will you be watching the game on Saturday, Coach?
Well, I'll be watching. In fact, there's several games that I'm looking forward to. The Georgia-Clemson game is going to be a good game. Obviously, I've got interest in Clemson, and I've got interest in Alabama, and those are the two teams that I follow closer than anybody. But I don't worry too much about Alabama. I think that they'll beat Miami without any problem. I worry just a little bit about Clemson. They're playing Georgia, but Clemson feels like they're going to be a better team. And what I've read about Alabama, they think they're going to be equally as good. So that ought to be two good football teams ranked 1 and 2.
Coach, what are you hearing about Texas A&M?
Well, I was in College Station Thursday, and in fact, spent a little time with Jimbo, and that wasn't the reason I was there. I was there to pay respect to one of my former players who's a regent and was going off the board there, but did have a chance to visit with the coach, and he feels like that they've got a chance to have a good football team. He's pretty confident.
You mentioned Clemson, Georgia. That is where a lot of eyeballs will be watching this weekend. How do you size up that matchup, Coach?
Well, I think that Clemson will win. I really do. They've got nearly all of their defensive back. They've got the good running back, and they've got a quarterback that's a big guy. He seemed to me like he weighs around 250, can throw the football, played some last year. So according to them, and that's sort of what I base it on, they feel like they're going to be a good team.
Talking with Coach Gene Stallings and talking a little week 1, if you will. Did you watch any of the Illinois-Nebraska game this past weekend, Coach?
I did not. It seemed like I had something to do, and I was working most of the time and didn't get a chance to watch it. But I understand it was a decent football game.
Yeah, Coach Brett Bielema started off his tenure on a successful start there for Illinois, and maybe it's a good fit back in the Big Ten, but it just Nebraska just cannot seem to get it right to where it once was under Coach Tom Osborne.
Yeah, I remember taking a team, Texas A&M, to Nebraska, and we played them extremely well. I think it was tied at the half, and they had a punt returner. I forget. I think his name was Rogers, and he returned the kickoff for a touchdown. Must have run 200 yards back and forth, sideways, up and down. But that sort of broke the game open. And played it in Lincoln, and it's a great place to play a game, but they were just a better football team. We were. That's the only time I've had an opportunity to play against them.
Well, running through that 92 roster, Dabo Swinney was your wide receiver, and I know he's gone on to do quite good things there for the Clemson football program, but what kind of player was Dabo Swinney back in the day, Coach?
He was decent. He was a long way from being a great player, but he wanted to be a great player, and that's what I appreciate about Dabo. He every time he stepped on the field, he played as well as he was capable of playing, and he was always well prepared. But as far as saying he was a great player, he wasn't a great player, but he was a good player, and he really made a contribution.
Did that team get along pretty well, or because I know certain teams, just winning kind of breeds that unity that you need later on in the season?
We had unity the whole. I can't believe we ever had a team that didn't get along. You know, the game's for the players, not for the coach. And you get a bunch of players that's feeling the same way, and they have a feeling for each other. They like each other. They enjoy the time with each other, practices, playing, traveling, and so forth. And that's the kind of team that you want to have. And I think that Clemson, I think the players have an appreciation for each other. And I know that the same way at Alabama, I think those players have an appreciation for each other, and the coach has an appreciation for the players, and that's a tough combination. When you think of all the games that Alabama's won over the years, they have done just a remarkable job. I just can't imagine anybody having more success over the same period of time than Alabama's had.
Talking to Coach Gene Stallings right now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, you mentioned you started to wonder 7 games into it, and I believe that was after the Tennessee game, but the 34-13 final score over Miami, I mean, there was that surprised a lot of people. I know it didn't surprise you, Coach, but, I mean, for that to be that wide of a gap back in 92 was a little eye-popping, Coach.
Well, it was, but you got to realize we were an outstanding defensive team. We'd led the nation in several categories defensively. We could run the football. We were a good third-down team. Jay Barker was a good leader at the quarterback position, and our players were playing with confidence. Anybody that would listen, I would tell them, I say, no, we're a better football team than Miami. Just so happened nobody paid any attention. But I've really felt that way, and I expressed my opinion.
George Teague, that play in particular that has been replayed over and over and over, I cannot help but want to ask, I don't think I've asked you specifically about that George Teague play, Coach. What was running through your mind during that play?
I said, George, if you'd have played your position the way you were supposed to, you wouldn't have had to make that great play.
He was running out of fear.
Yeah, well, what a great comeback. And he was running against a guy that had great speed, and he just overcame him and reached in and pulled that ball. It was a penalty on the play, but what a great individual play. I guess it's about as good an individual play as I've ever seen in my career.
Wow. And that includes a stop there in the NFL as well. So you've seen a lot of high-level talent, Coach.
Well, I have, and I've had a good career, and I still love watching the game. I don't go to as many games, obviously, because of the virus and so forth, but I've got my television on, and I'll be watching game. If there's a 9 o'clock game on, I'll be watching it till the last game. So I thoroughly enjoy the college game, and it's something we're all looking forward to, and I hope the virus will be kind to most of the teams. That raises his head, and all of a sudden you could have 3 or 4 of your players test positive. They can't play for a while, and you won't be as good. So let's just hope that most of the players stay healthy.
Well said. Well said indeed. Coach, thank you so much for your visit, and we always really enjoy our conversations. And see, Wes is here tonight, so the last time...
Wes is there?
Who do you think you've been talking to?
There's no game to go to the high school game.
I had a day off today, Coach, so I could come in.
I thought he was calling from out of town somewhere. I guarantee his daddy would always be there. Do I know about his daddy?
Thank you so much for your time, Coach.
I'm going to ask y'all a question. What do y'all think about the Alabama game?
Coach, I think that it's one of these things where if the Alabama goes out and does what they're supposed to be, that the people in Las Vegas are right.
What do they? What's the
line's 18.5 to 20. 18.5 to 20.
Man.
But you got a quarterback that's inexperienced, and let's see what happens if as you draw those plays up in the meeting room. Nobody draws. Okay, we're going to lose 5 yards on this one, and running back's going to fumble on this one. You ever heard y'all ever draw one up like that, Coach? But that stuff happens. And then what's he going to do then? You know what I'm saying? What's he going to do when everything's not just roses and champagne?
Well, I will say that Saban will have a plan, one way or the other. If they start off 0 for 10, then he'll have a plan. If they start off 10 for 10, he'll have a plan. So that's the reason he's where he is, and that's the reason he wins so many games. He has a plan for every situation. Coach Bryant was the same way. He had a plan what would start off this and that, and we knew exactly what was going to happen, and we were well prepared, and I'm sure Coach Saban and his staff is extremely well prepared.
Well, speaking of Coach Bryant, real quick, the first Alabama game, when you were coaching at Alabama, what was that like? The first game after Ears Whitworth and all the winning 3 games in 3 years and turning that.
I think we played that game in New Orleans and down on the coast, if I'm not mistaken. And we didn't really know exactly what to happen. And anyway, we played pretty well. And I think the first year we won 5 and lost 4 and went to a bowl game. And that's been the first time that Alabama's been to a bowl in a long time. In fact, we went to a bowl on a train. And what a great trip we had. So anyway, the first Liberty Bowl that they played. And I remember that trip very well.
Coach, thank you so much for hopping on with us, and what is, for a lot of Alabama fans, a very special game with a lot of meaning to it, and you are tied to that big time, sir.
Well, it's a joy to be on your show, and it's always fun to visit with you guys. You're well tuned to what's happening in the game, and I appreciate that. Appreciate both of you, and hope you all enjoy your weekend and see some good games.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Coach.
It is here. There's no doubt about that. Thank you, Coach. That is Coach Gene Stallings joining us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Maybe the air doesn't blow like it should, or it's needing new tires, or you're just ready for something newer. It's time to move up, time to trade up. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and it's the perfect time to trade in and trade up because your current car or truck is worth more than you know. In fact, we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't trade. We have nearly 100 Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned models to choose from. Our Ford Gold certified or low mileage, gently used vehicles with great warranties. They've passed a 172-point inspection by certified technicians, come with a 24-hour roadside assistance, plus a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. It's the perfect time to trade in and trade up because your vehicle is worth more right now at Woody Anderson Ford. Corner of Jordan Lane and Sparkman Drive. Hope to see you soon.
Jesus tells us to go the second mile. Well, sometimes it's hard enough to go the first mile. But when the Lord is number one in our lives, we not only go the first mile, but we embrace the second mile. We can talk all we want about Jesus and how important he is to us, but we show it in the second mile. In the second mile, the world has changed. In the second mile, the difference is made. In the second mile, the lost world sees Christ in us. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. And check us out at cpcfamily.org.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Nothing beats a great burger to celebrate Labor Day weekend. And at Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, we couldn't agree more. And if you haven't tried our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness, then head on down and try one of Bad Daddy's award-winning burgers now. Our delicious burgers are made with premium Angus beef, and you can pair it with one of our signature cocktails or a cold craft beer. Celebrate Labor Day weekend and let us do the cooking with a trip to Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway between Bob Wallace and Governors.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. I hope all of you are well. These are trying times we're experiencing right now, and I want you to know that we at Baumhauer's are committed more than ever to providing a legendary dining experience to everyone. Everyone is important to us, and everyone is welcome. Please allow us to serve you in a way that makes you feel safe, appreciated, welcome, and special. Because we're all special in the eyes of the ones and the one that counts. God bless.
From the WZDX Pinpoint Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For your Friday, expect a mostly sunny sky. High temperatures topping out in the mid to upper 80s for the afternoon. It will be another dry day as well. For your Friday night, expect partly cloudy skies. Low temperatures will fall into the mid to upper 60s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Eli Gold of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. From Nick Saban to Nate Oates. Listen to the Crimson Tide Sports Network all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The Alabama Crimson Tide. Gentlemen, that's your trophy.
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Stylin', wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot.
Final segment of the week here on The Drive as we're counting down to kickoff for tonight's matchup between Madison Academy and DAR. Don't forget to download the app as well. We're also a mere moments away from kickoff on Zone 2. Austin Coletti, Drew DeArmond will have the rivalry 2 years in the making between the Huntsville Crimson Panthers and the Grissom Tigers. Again, you can find that on the app on Zone 2. That coverage of Huntsville and Grissom. Don't forget the scoreboard show is going to kick off no matter what on Zone 3 at 9:30. We'll join that game in progress as soon as we are done over the airwaves with our coverage of Madison Academy Mustang football. As again, I mentioned the Mustangs on the road in Grant, Alabama to take on the Patriots of DAR. Well, we've heard from the Alabama side of things. Thought we'd hear from the Auburn side of things. Had an opportunity to talk to Auburn quarterback Bo Nix from earlier in the week. Also had an opportunity to talk to Auburn's new head football coach and Brian Harsin. Those two conversations will lead into a little bit more coverage of another big matchup this weekend between Clemson and Georgia. We'll start things out with someone who committed to Clemson but later played baseball. Jeff Francoeur joined us earlier in the week and actually was recruited by Tommy Bowden to play football at Clemson University. Sneak in a little college football talk with the former Atlanta Brave. I also jumped on a Zoom call earlier in the week with Kirk Herbstreit and his breakdown of the Clemson Georgia game. Thought was worth re-racking as well. Enjoy. Hey, Bo, appreciate the time today. Heading into this season with the wealth of experience that you do have, where do you feel like maybe you're stronger at heading into this year as opposed to previous years?
That's a great question, too. It's just something different about having played 2 years and knowing schemes of a lot of defenses, just understanding and recognizing a lot of things before the snap. And I think pre-snap is where I'll have the biggest significant difference. Really in my head, I'll know exactly the situations that they can present and the defenses that they can possibly be in, just because I can eliminate the ones that they're not going to be in. So just mentally knowing where to go with the ball, knowing the defense, and then after that, just knowing within our system where the ball should go. But the main part is just knowing what to do, each route combination and where to go with the football based off coverage. I feel really good about that because I've had, like you said, a lot of experience. Past few years, I've seen a lot of looks, and I like how our schemes are going to fit those looks.
Tank Bigsby, certainly coming off of a big year last year. I'm wondering what you've seen out of Tank this fall, Coach.
Well, since I've got a chance to be around Tank, one, I think, I'll go to his work ethic. I think he does a very good job in the weight room, at practice, and in our conditioning. So I've got a chance to see him work, which is a very important trait you need to have at that position because of your development there and the type of player that he is, being a physical back. So that's carried over into our practices this fall. And the biggest thing for him is taking that work, the consistency that he's been practicing with, not just in the run game, but in our protections as well, and carry that over into the game on Saturday. And, I expect Tank to be physical and to play that way, running the ball, and to play that way in our pass protection. And he's shown that in practice. But I also like the fact that I think he's becoming more of a student of the game and understanding not just what we're doing, but understanding, what defenses are trying to do to the schemes that we have. And so that's still early right now because of the new systems and all that, but we've seen some flashes of just his ability to prepare himself each day. And then, throughout the fall camp practices we've had, we've seen that from him. So expect that to carry over in the games, and, just that maturity and that experience, that physical development to show up when he goes out there and plays. But ultimately for Tank, it's be the very best player he can be each and every day. Let that consistency carry over into the game, and then, be that player on Saturday, take care of the football, do a great job in protection, and then his duties on special teams, be ready to handle those and do a great job with that.
And I realize the entire focus is on the game, but I do wonder, since this is game one, you're starting off at home with one of the iconic moments in college football is the eagle flying down at the 50-yard line to start. And I do wonder how you're going to take that in and maybe take in that home crowd for your first game, Coach.
Well, during that time, now we're in the locker room during that time, and one of the neat things that my family and I got a chance to do when we first got here was to see the Eagles actually practice and be out there while they were preparing themselves for the Eagle flight and all that. And it was awesome. It was neat to see that. I've heard so much about it from fans and other people that have seen it. I don't know. I may sneak out there and get a chance to watch it. But, yeah, I think, that's all part of being at Auburn. That's all part of our game day experience. And, Tiger Walk, the Eagle flight, and then having a chance to run out there and play in front of these fans and this crowd. Everybody on the team is looking forward to that. So we definitely talked about it. We know it's coming. I think that's the excitement about game week. And, our focus is on the day-to-day. But at the end of the week, we get out there and get a chance to run on that field. That's going to be, what we've all been working for and what we're all looking forward to. And certainly for some of us that are new and haven't had a chance to do that, everybody's excited about it. And it's game day. That's college football. It's game day. And when you're playing in a place like this, all those experiences are just part of what makes this place special.
And I did think Charlie had a decent point on that Zoom call after the game. I don't know how hard it would be to implement, but I don't know if you heard his post-game thoughts on replay of, I don't know if there's a way you could take out whatever the call was on the field, but if that could be at all be an option, I like that, frankly, as an option where they don't know the call on the field.
See, I love that idea. I think it's the best idea because at the end of the day, the umpires, just like players, are a close-knit group of guys. And I'll say this, if you're a young rookie and you're at home or you're up in New York and Joe West makes a call, I'll tell you what, it better be clear and cut. If you turn that, you might be getting a call from the Cowboy. So I know we joke, but I would love to see that where these guys, hey, sit them in another room where they can Netflix whatever, do whatever they want to do, and then all of a sudden when there's a call, knock on the door, they come over, and like you said, now they have not seen the play, and they don't know if someone's safe or out. I think that's the only fair way to do it. Other than that, I've said it. Forget rinse